Hype.
Thing.
All right,
Oh.
all right.
Sorry, Dota TV. Hello.
Hi.
Wow. I kind of dig on this IG draft. I think the Axe can play a pretty good tempo. I've got faith in SRF. It's going to come down to this TA, of course, if she can keep tempo, but I think it's a pretty good supporting cast.
I feel like IG are just gonna, but TA taking over. I like it. I'm not totally sold on the core Leshrax. It looks like that's the way they're gonna end up. Like he's mostly gonna be the core in this set. So
Yeah, it is Zinq playing it, so I guess he's back to that 3 position.
Okay.
We'll see. This is definitely a tough game for Serenity, it feels like. They're going to get pressured a lot. They've got some unfavorable lanes. Morphling's going to have a tough time. Lina has a bad matchup.
yeah, there is this timer for sure, though. I guess right in terms of the IG drafts.
Right.
You know,
Sort of, yeah.
Axe, TA, and a Veno core. That's not exactly the most like late game kind of stuff versus the Morphlings. So
Yeah.
they need to hold.
So
If they can do it.
Are we 4 for IG? Is this the panel curse here? Is that what we're saying?
I'll stick with Serenity. Why not? Let's go crazy.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I know. I'm sorry. Oh, more tips for him. This is the hard life. You try and innovate. You try to be your own man, and they come in and they break you down.
Wow.
I feel for you.
Big kids.
All right. Good luck, boys.
Thank you so much. What a bunch of cool guys. Well, Parker, it's gonna look different. It's gonna look very, very different, I think. But I feel like we kind of know what each team needs to do to win in this one.
Yep, for Serenity, it's kind of like hold on, get your items on Morph and Lina without bleeding out too much this game. They can get to that point, things will start looking pretty good for them. Q at bottom, there's a fight breaking out.
Already early on, Q needing to get out of here, although he should be fine.
Yep. The Cog's level 1, so wasn't really a kill threat available. Just got a one-man decay off. Will be, interestingly, the Rubik with the Axe up top, so not quite the scariest of lanes that we maybe imagined, and that is partly the decay.
Orb of Venom early on, too, that we see there as the Light Strike Ray comes through. Some decent damage thrown out there early on SRF, but he's got a billion different things for regen.
Yep. Plenty of
The battle
to
begins.
heal that back up, but they're not going to get many of these runes as Lina rotating in scared them off. It does mean Lina's block will not be anywhere near as good as XXS's, and that to me is a bit of a problem because TA already favored in this matchup, and that block can end up hurting you even more as a result.
How bad is this TA versus Lina matchup? I feel like people always talk about it.
It's like a 70-30 matchup, I feel. Big problem is once TA gets some levels, you just can't reliably nuke the TA at all out of the lane. Early levels you have, with like a point in the Fiery Souls, you can actually do okay at dealing with Refraction, but later on it gets very difficult.
We'll watch for that and what they're capable of doing. Early wave is going to be pressured out. It did look like TA missed one of those CS, but it's not the biggest deal in the world.
May even see XXS just flip his wave here to mess with some of these last hits if he wants to. Go for it. Decent early start for both. Veno should be free farming down bottom. 6 CS already against what's not a crazy duel lane. Getting Gale level 1 doesn't really feel good. This spell does very little damage. We're probably going to see like a 1-4-1 build. Poison Sting's kind of your most valuable spell to level up. Really, just yeah, this level 1 Gale's a bit of a mana sink.
Meanwhile, Cogs push back. That's something to watch for in the splitter. Top lane, talked about it.
Yep.
Just heal up the Morphling.
Oh, I like this though. Level 1 Fade Bolt messing with Morphling's last hits. He only has 1 last hit, 1 deny. In some ways, they're not going for the let's harass Morphling out of the lane. They're going for the let's just mess with all of his last hits kind of approach, which in a lot of ways is just going to ultimately be better because you can't necessarily rely on being able to harass him when he's got this Warlock next to him. He's got lots of regen. He has that agi efficiency.
And of course, as we've seen time and again, that's something that you can kind of do when you put it underneath the tower. It's hard to get these last hits, and he's not getting a lot of them. 3-1. It's even worse when you've got the battle hunger on you.
Hey man, Warlock feeling the heat up top. Warlock's using all his heals on Morphling, but while that's going on, he's taking damage himself, so down to half health. No regen left, just the mangoes.
You might need to get a couple of the tangos passed over from Morphling as well.
Yeah.
We'll see how that works out. But yeah, again, it's just, you know, a basic early frustrating start, I would imagine. for the Morph. But this is a cool answer because we haven't seen great answers so far for a hard carry and a Warlock.
Yeah, I'm a bit of a change, and I'm really looking forward to seeing these double Tombstone fights when Morphling can steal the Undying Tombstone. He can maybe pop a quick decay if he even wants to, or a Soul Rip for a heal. There's some nice plays he can make. Morph ability this game.
They're writing on that.
Who
Looks
knows?
like an XD. Something in Chinese.
Chinese character, maybe.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, top lane, SRF, he has a point now into the spin. Should be trying to pressure on. Careful on this Morph lane. Again, pure damage at these low HP levels is always pretty frightening.
Lina getting fairly low mid lane is a bit of a rough time for her. Let's get an Illusion Rune, but that's not really the best rune, even though it can break Refraction. Came at the cost of missing some CS in last hit, so XXS should be able to pretty easily deal with these illusions too if he wants to.
Oh, real careful.
Force out a salve, so extra regen being brought out. That doesn't feel great for the Lina as well.
He basically zoned out of lane right now.
This is 2 last hits in a row though there on PA. No one saw it, don't worry.
Bottom lane, Undying. Gonna throw out some decays here with the Gale, do some damage. It's a lot of damage actually. These right clicks coming through, battery assault there as well. They burn through the mana of aggressive, so won't have a Gale in 10 seconds. They've been able to find the follow-up stun. In some trouble, starting to drop down low, but will live. Mid lane though, Success also taking some damage. The Dragon Slave Refraction out at the last second with the Sow.
Damn, that was so close to a kill, but Lina unable to connect on it. And that was a big commitment of Lina's mana pool. Meanwhile, XXS still had a Salve and Menga to play with, so he pops those, is able to continue playing this lane, while Lina is going to be forced to bring additional regen to lane, or to go and back to base just to heal up or something, which feel particularly good for ZYD.
Been hitting all these little bounces as well. Side blades, and going to continue to. Careful on that.
Bottom lane, a bit of a flash breaking out. I think there'll be a kill. Tombstone even being dropped here. Looked like Serenity were going to try and commit for aggressive.
Could be one where you'd love to be able to turn around and try and take down that Tombstone for the early goal, but a little bit too scary. And so far, the story of this game is Radiant doing a good job in the laning stage. This is what we've come to expect from IG.
Yep. See the CS looking good on all 3 of their heroes. No, though, it's on a gold. It's like a dead even on gold, it looks like. Maybe, yeah, slight gold lead going the Dire's way. It's a bit unusual considering the CS.
Changes. Lina had to go all the way back to the well.
Yep.
It's going to be taken out again now.
Denied.
I think, yeah, Lina using the salves and regen, but TA also had to chew through some extra regen, which is where some of that difference is being made. Direct farming very well in this bottom lane as a core. Something we've seen Serenity do quite a bit, run these like dual core lineups.
Stacks-wise, we don't see any of these Ancients stacked up. More likely to see it from the Radiant team, but everybody's kind of been stuck in their lane, so it's a little bit tough to make that happen. Also, level 6s coming out very shortly for both of these. Looks like Lina will get hers a little bit after 10, Templar Assassin, so she's going to need to be careful about those traps.
Yeah, see, Lina wants to get a sentry ward in the mid lane, something you often have to do against TA if you're one of these squishy heroes that can just get dive, particularly if TA finds a haste rune or a double damage rune. With some traps, very easy to go for those dives. And TA going to bring out a bottle now. Not going for the fast bottle, going for the Aquila first, but knowing that runes can be a big difference maker, and it's worth getting the bottle to pick them up. Bottom lane, bit of a clash breaking out.
Fine aggressive, lots of damage, and that's going to be first blood. They need to try and take down this Tombstone here. They managed to get the kill with the Soul Rip there, but that means the Tombstone will go down. You giving away some gold to the clock.
Yep, gold, and the first blood as well, going the way of Serenity. That one picked up by the Lashrak, who did die afterwards, but not the end of the world, but it will be a perhaps follow-up kill, as PYW getting fairly low.
Let's have a TP. You need to use it,
Yep.
so you'll hang on for the moment in this lane and play it safe.
6-minute rune's going to go the way of Lina. It's definitely very good considering there's a haste rune, and that's exactly what TA is always looking for. And with a haste rune comes the rotation top. Very efficient play to make, yeah. You can get a kill or two and then quickly get back to your mid lane. I think IG know now, but Boka's going to scout it out. He's going to just toss and run, hope for the best.
Oh, Light Strike Array, Baboka is gonna die, and Lena gets back. No fuss, no muss. Easy kill there.
Yeah, as long as you only lose one, I think that's very reasonable for IG as far as mitigating their losses. If you lose both heroes top, it feels really bad. And like that rotation was super value, but just for the one support, TA gets a full creep wave, it's gonna fall back, try and farm some ancients. Doesn't even go for the stack. There is a dire observer ward blocking it.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty quick that IG realized what's going on there. Also, Central Ward was placed down in the mid lane. There was one placed by both team, and it looks like they will not be able to take it away from TA. Well, top lane, Warlock's still just living that poverty life. Healing up the Morph whenever possible. Well, they will take through a big stack, stealing away a couple of those. Not bad for the Morph.
Not bad at all. Morph is getting a lot of farm in this lane.
Oh,
and
like
Lena's, again, yeah, these rotations. Working out fantastic.
1 to 3 in great place so far, coming in from Team Serenity.
Yep.
Dire's top tower is
Making
under
it work.
attack.
Their lanes have, for the most part, gone very well. The mid lane maybe being the one slight exception. As kill coming in, no lift though.
Hides away in the trees, able to get out of there. Now they're going to try and find the stun. Does miss it there. Light Strike Array. They're going to be able to find it with the setup from the cogs. And that is going to be a dead TA.
I tested your metal and found it wanting.
Very nicely done, getting him right on the edge of the detection, and big TA kill. That was the one lane that was going slightly in favor of IG, and a kill like that suddenly puts Lena back on par with TA, and status quo is looking pretty damn nice for Team Serenity here.
1 to 4. Certainly feeling like drop right there, just off of those couple of kills and experience as well. I guess we could start looking at some of these levels, any rotations that might come out in the near future. Clockwork, probably the big one that we're going to be looking for, getting close to that level 6. We'll definitely have it by the time that, or with the tome at the very least, if nothing else.
Warlock also level 5 already. The nature of these dual lanes is that everyone's getting some good experience. Morphling already with the Dragon Lance, going for this fighting build. Big fan of this build. Allows him to kill the tombstone a lot easier, allows him to fight earlier, and just is way less greedy, because they're versing a lineup that you cannot be too greedy against.
This is a really cool way to make this happen, and it still allows him to scale well into the late game.
Yep. Doesn't even have boots right now. I do imagine he'll buy treads as his next item pickup, but either way, it's something a bit different.
Lane, work, and a little bit of harassment here.
The Gale may have been going for a kill there, but even if he lands it, something you mentioned earlier is there is no disable. Baboka has a stun here, but throw your stun. Okay, they're going to go on the Left Track instead. Left may just die here.
Coming in, they're going to take down Baboka first, though, and maybe going to be able to find a little bit more. Q is dropping low. It's
Big heal
Fatal
from
Bonds on
Warlock.
all of them as well. They're going to try and kill off this tombstone. It is going to happen.
It's healing through it.
Deny is there as well if it really gets dicey, but it looks like Q is going to be fine.
3 points in the Shadow Word. You're often seeing these Warlocks nowadays not max this spell, but this game particularly, the heal is extra value. Wouldn't be surprised to see him max it at level 7. Just going for the 2 points in the Fatal Bonds, no upheaval needed just yet. That saves the Leshrak's life there. Really great play from Serenity, because it looked like the Lesh was going to be in all sorts of trouble when he TP'd in.
Morphlane taking some harassment here from Seraph, but really, Morph doesn't need to be that worried in this lane anymore, I feel like, until something like a blink comes out and type of initiation is a hook shot. Gonna be able to find aggressive yet again, and they get the kill with the bounty runes coming up. It's all coming up Serenity.
It is. They're just kind of steamrolling through this early game. 10 minutes in, they've got a 3k lead. They're doing what IG did to them last game, which was just get all these kills, control the early game, and just get this big momentum. Pushes them forward, getting kill after kill, and they're going to start looking at towers fairly soon, I imagine, as well. Leshrak's got the first point in Diabolic Edict, has a Ring of Aquila, so has that extra armor aura if he wants to turn it on, and start taking some of these objectives.
Yeah, and I mean, the big thing, too, looking at this, is that it's also with a Morphling. Like, that's the biggest part to me that's crazy about this, is it feels like this is the draft that should be having to play from behind, but just not the case. 7-1, 10 minutes in. And 3 heroes up here in the top lane. They want to try and put the hurt here on the ZZZ, and
They got the lockdown for it. It feels difficult, but
oh,
the
he
more
got the strength on him. Oh, and just like that, he's fine. It takes over the tombstone. Come at me.
Kill the Tomb gets the money for it, 175 gold. Big boost his economy.
Other heroes rotating in now. Clockwork here does have the hook. Gonna find it, catches on to both of them. They also find the Light Striker and follow up. That's gonna be a dead axe right at the start. Q also going down. Serenity. Beautiful Dota.
Yeah, sick initiation from PYW. Forward position, he has just been fantastic on this team. Going to play a lot of Elder Titan here on the Clockwork. Great roaming initiation plays coming out. It does leave IG perhaps scratching their heads a bit. They're going to be wondering, like, what do we do? We're just getting run over, and they're the team with the Morphling. We're the team with the Undying Venno. Like, this is not how things are meant to go.
Very, very cool stuff. And right now, IG needing to come up with some answers. One of the ways to do this is, of course, TA starting to take out these Ancients, stacks one right there as well, and then immediately clears through it. But she needs to get towards some quick items. You can see already the Blink Dagger. She just wants to kill off that Morphling ASAP. Likewise.
Walker comes in.
Snatches one away. Oh, no, he didn't get that one.
Oh, yeah, he's brown. I can't sometimes tell the difference between the teal and the light blue pill. Get some experience, block the camp again with another sentry ward. Just making sure to limit the TA's farm. Even if it gets dewarded, TA does have a sentry in pocket. Just gonna stop a spawn or two coming out.
Lina needs to be careful here mid. Well, Warlock actually has an ulti behind him. They managed to find one and blow him up.
He just ran to 3 heroes here, and Lina, caught up completely.
But the turnaround, they take down aggressive right at the start. They do lose the Lina.
He got blinked on. The TA blink had just come up with a double damage as well. That was when IG wanted to fight and see the first glimmer of hope for them.
Other thing I was just thinking about is morphing into TA doesn't sound too bad either. Getting the refraction up and online.
Refraction, go back to your Morphling form. Pretty damn nice indeed.
Top lane, SRF hits the hook shot, connecting over here to the side, and Serenity making it happen. We're seeing signs of life from IG, but it still feels like Serenity are the ones with the momentum.
Yeah, and it feels like it's all around the TA, and TA's having a great game, is on track to hit her normal item timings, but the other heroes, you're feeling like, it's struggling. Venno, 0-3, doesn't have his 4-star yet. That's a key item when you're playing against this Clockwork. Axe has Vanguard, but this means this Blink Dagger's coming up perhaps slower than IG would have liked. If you're going Vanguard, you typically want to do it when you're in a dominating position, but he's 0-3. He's not farming particularly fast right now.
Blaine takes over the zombie man yet again, drops Tombstone, runs away. He is all fine with this at the moment. Doesn't take any talents yet. Also worth noting that we've just been seeing the Clockwork follow around the TA, constantly throwing out those rockets, and even if it's not necessarily doing much damage to XXS, you can't feel comfortable in this game. They constantly know where he is.
Yeah, and that's the kind of hero that could theoretically jump you with a battery assault. If your blink gets cancelled or is on cooldown, suddenly you can't really rely on your refraction to get you out. If Clockwork has anybody with him, it's going to be a kill on the TA. Be very careful. It does feel like IG are going to have to get a lot done. As soon as they get both the Deso on TA and the Blink Dagger and Axe, it's go time for them. They can't just keep on farming at that point. They need to take Roche, they need to take towers, they need to take fights. They got to be the ones getting active those items.
Well, and the plus side too, as you mentioned, is that they have this 5-man lineup. That's what they want to do, really. And they've got the items between them that sort of answer a lot of those problems. The 4-staff on Venomancer to be able to help out the TA later on. We're talking again about the Undying trying to go back for the mechanism later. He's still a long ways away from that. I don't even know if he's getting to this game, to be honest.
Same use often found very well in Undying, but this game's Morphling goes for an unusual 350 waveform range talent. Normally you almost always see the +10 agility, but I think this game, with just the ability to maneuver these fights and right-click a lot more early on, he wants that extra range just to maneuver around these fights. Gives him some more chase potential. He's quite the scary right-clicker with this build. Hitting for like 180 damage. About to be even scarier with a Yasha as well.
Oh, and right now the Gale basically mitigated by the Shadow Word. Only 1 level in it, as you were mentioning. Initial damage 25 and then 10 per tick. I think that's spooky.
Completely kind of taken over this Radiant jungle, at least on one side. TA still has the other side. For a kill there. They ping the ward. Fortunately, that's a It's not a great hook shot because one, it doesn't hit and doesn't get you a kill, also reveals where your observer ward is. But they're going to take some towers here, and they're going to maintain map control even without the vision just because of being able to push out these lanes.
Leshrac picks up the Bloodstone. They do still have this Clockwork in the area and sort of tank up any initiations that come out. Maybe get a Cogs pushback if things get a little bit too dicey. But Tier 1 tower down. Serenity happy as a clam.
IG just unable to do all too much right now. TA closer and closer to the Deso. Axe is going to hit the Blink Dagger a little bit earlier or about the same time, which is great. You want these two key items coming up at similar times. Let's see what they can do. Problem is, like, Axe initiating with Blink just doesn't feel great when you're versing a Warlock because it's such an easy counter-initiation play to make. If TA blinks in to join the Axe, then you've got a two-man Rock Fatal Bonds combo right there with the TA Axe joined together. And they're both going to take a lot of damage in that, so it does feel hard to go in if Warlock is there. Unless you go to Warlock, that sounds great.
Of course, and that's the dream fight as well, but we're seeing that XCJ is playing very far back in these fights. And
he knows how to position. Stay in the trees, don't show yourself, don't let yourself get caught. Clockwork's staying on the other side. Like, they'll have one hero, the Morph, pushing out the lanes, and then Clockwork's kind of the one scouting out a potential smoke rotation. So it's damn near impossible to get to this Warlock, because you can't just flank from behind. The other heroes are protecting his sides.
Alright, here we go for IG. Got the Blink Deso, we've got the Blink on Axe, they're smoking up.
I just don't see this working with Warlock. This initiation is going to be so rough. If they blink in together, I think they just melt.
Meanwhile, they jump forward, they find themselves one.
That's Lesh. Got to stick with the team. They get a quick pickoff. They need to play around the Morphling, and the Leshrac just kind of got off the same page as the rest of the team there and gives up a little easy kill, but insta respawn with the Bloodstone.
And they're looking to go again here. They have eyes on TA, maybe going to look for an opening. They have the Rocket Flare in a second. He's moving forward, but the blink away, and instead they're just going to take the one kill here on a Q.
Done.
Again, by and large, you've got the Tier 2 tower taken, and this is with the Morph lane. Like, this is the lineup that scales better.
I'd see the Morph probably going for that Morph duration talent as well, so we can keep on switching back and forth a bit more, using a few more extra spells. Morph form, whichever hero he may choose.
TA gonna go for the BKB next. You would love to be able to pick up an Aegis onto XXS. It's just so scary to walk into that pit. So many heroes alive. Serenity. And right now, again, as we mentioned, Bloodstone charges down to 8 for Leshrac. Actually up to 9, excuse me. But we'll be going for a Blink Dagger himself. Just loves the item.
Not the end of the world losing those Bloodstone charges. Not a huge fan of this. He's not playing the mid-carry Leshrac. He's kind of playing, you know, second, third fiddle to the Lina Morphling. Going Bloodstone when you have Lina Morphling on your team just seems a bit odd. Buy some Boots of Travel. He's just playing full-on farmer, like split pusher mode. Not just him, like all 3 cores in some ways. Lina also has a Bloodstone queued up. The itemization from Serenity is, I don't know, it's not that conventional. At least not what you'd normally expect teams to do. You'd typically want to see Lina go for a Shadow Blade to go around hunting for kills. You'd want Leshrac to have like some more defensive utility items like the Yule Scepter. Maybe even into a BKB for some survivability, which BKB honestly isn't that good this game. I like Morphling's build, even though they're the suboptimal, like not suboptimal, they're the unusual items as well. I just think these Bloodstones are a bit overvalued by this team.
I completely agree. Like, Yule's just so freaking great against the Axe and for everything, and there's a lot of it. But again, this is not what he feels like he needs to do. And
absolutely, it's working. They're finding kills. He's finding farm. He's going to get some Bloodstone charges back there and continue to be able to push out these waves. He wants to truly scale and be a core. It's just coming at the cost of like the Lina bit.
So Morphling Manta has himself a Morbid Mask on top of it with the Dragonlance. Scotty next, much more of the right-clicking build to try and take down towers. Which I really love to see.
This is like also a great build for fighting a TA. TA wants to get up close and personal with Refraction and just try and burst you down. Morphling, well, you've got over 30 armor, you've got Manta Illusions, which will quickly break through Refraction, and then with Scotty, you've got a slow as well that's going to make TA have a tough time in these fights. And also a slow that's going to pierce through the BKB that's queued up for TA.
Over to some strength form. Wants to be a little bit tankier. Wow. Again, just gets the heal coming through, and it's time to push for another tier 2.
They should just be able to take this pretty much for free. Don't think there's much they can do to contest it. Chuck another heal on the Morphling if you need to. ZZZ is going to make short work of this tier 2.
A Shrek.
IG's draft just hasn't got rolling. They were meant to do this like 5-man Dota thing. Do this death bowl of dropping Veno wards and playing around the tombstone, but they just never got a chance to because of how badly these lanes have gone.
Well, and this is what we talked about in the last game, right? Like, that was the biggest problem, really, with their draft last game, was the issues in their laning stages. And if there's one sort of detriment that you could talk about with IG, it's that they've been somewhat predictable. The way that they've won games have pretty much looked exactly the same. And maybe Serenity has found a bit of a cure for the bog that we've been talking about.
Play this fast pace, you find all these kills, you throw them off in the early game. If you don't have a good laning stage, it's very hard to play that 5-man style because you have too many heroes that are looking to catch up. It always turns into this, okay, can we group up and push? Axe is going to be like, no, I need to find my Blink Dagger. Venom's like, I can't come until I have my 4 stuff, otherwise it just had a clockwork. And the end result is this TA is like, guys, I can go fight and do stuff, but none of you can. So I've got to just keep on farming as well. And IG are just in this kind of harmful pattern of just keep continuing to farm and farm.
Oh, nice play there by XXS. Not sure if it's going to be enough, though, as they try and run away. It does look like Q is going to be able to walk away from this, though. He's living.
Self alive. Those TA traps not enough to bring him down. OIW has swooped in as well. He's got a Solar Crest queued up, which will make it even harder for the TA to do damage in these fights. And this BKB is probably essential, but it's not a damage item, which means we're kind of looking at this TA who, at the kind of key part of the game where we're about to see some game-deciding T-fights, has a BKB, but this BKB just doesn't feel great because there is so much physical damage. It doesn't solve any morph problems, and it doesn't feel like TA is going to do enough damage output with this item build.
Oh, they switch into the Rubik, gonna turn it back around. Boba gets the counter lift now. Got ourselves a little bit of a pause.
Got that waveform range. Goodbye Rubik, I guess. That extra chase.
God, he's halfway to a Scotty already. This Morphling's out of control.
I think he's just going to be untouchable. He's going to have a Scotty, and as TA gets this BKB, which is going to mean TA still gets kited, still can't deal with the Morphling at all. None of these heroes counter Morphling at all. It's just not going to happen. I know his damage over time, Morphling can always morph strength, keep you home, get healed up by Warlock. TA is all physical, Undying, Tombstone's just gonna melt. Axe with a Blade Mail, I guess. Blink Pull on the Morphling when he's all agi or something. That's kind of the kind of play you have to go for this game. But that sounds like a unreliable tool to use to win this game.
Oh, because not long for this world. He goes down very rapidly, and yet again, about to finish off that BKB for himself. That one feels like a much stronger BKB. D looking for SRF, switches over for the no field, and
Lift 2
has it. I can't get there.
Didn't have much mana in his regular form as well, so couldn't really wave in. Up lane, PA, he just gets solo killed the Edict.
Oh my god. The buckler value.
Yeah.
See, that's awesome.
These are items I like to see. This buckler, Aquila, like Aquila wand into buckler Yules. That sounds like a utility less build for the offlane. The Bloodstone's kind of cool because it gives you all this stats and health, but...
Oh no, and aggressive. Just light strike rate, dead and done.
Dead?
This
DZ is just destroying them. Gonna kill this tomb with these. Still has an Aegis as well, and you can't really fight into this upheaval.
Yet again, they catch their Q, gonna drop down. They do burn through the Aegis, not bad, as they were stealing the Laguna Blade on Rubik.
It's still not great though. They're gonna lose possibly just Rax here. They don't have buyback on Veno or TA. They're down both their cores, and yep, mid Rax gonna fully go down. Theoretically could consider threatening top, although I think we may just see them fall back with these respawns coming soon.
Axe is like, I'm jungling, guys. See you later. I don't want none of this.
He's waiting for these respawns before he even considers coming to help. We'll back off to meet up with their creep wave. Probably see them go for some shrines here. No rush to end things.
Man. Well, again, I kind of like what you're talking about there. Like, we can flame the Blink Quap all we want. To me, that's a better build than like when you see the Medusa go like Lincoln's Manta over and over and over again. It's like, you know, innovation that's different at least. It's cool. I like it. Now we're seeing a much more orthodox but still cool build.
Yeah, I think the Morphling is something we've seen from time to time, but it's definitely not the common build to see on a Morphling. We're seeing this double Bloodstone. I think the big part of the Bloodstone they really like is the short respawns.
Yeah.
They're a team that loves to fight, loves to keep on taking these team fights, and they want these low respawns so they can, you know, if they die, they respawn, they fight again. Let's go smoke, let's go do something. While it's not an item that gives you much outside of some, like team fight survivability and low respawns, that's enough for them because they feel like they can just be the aggressors. In a game like this, they definitely can be.
4 to 17, 13,000 net worth lead right now by Serenity. They are looking to try and tie this up and get themselves a spot at TI. Again, winner of this goes straight on through.
Yep. Game 3 decided. That's going to be a great way to end the night for China.
Radiant's top shrine is
Before we
under
get
attack.
ourselves into some CIS Dota action. All the CIS crew rocking up, but have to kind of settle down here a bit.
Oh, Invis rune. They find themselves one. They're going to get the second caught as well. On two fronts, the battle is brewing. And guess what? Serenity's winning both of them. They take down Bobica as well. The right clicks are there. And meanwhile, Aggressive needs to get back inside the base.
Bobica just wasn't using the lift to lift the Clockwork out. That was a bit weird.
Uh-oh.
See what happened there, but yeah, Rubik got hooked and just waited till he was almost dead before he used telekinesis. He stole a cogs, just kind of accepted his fate, which is the whole purpose, not behind why you pick a Rubik. You want to, you know, someone gets hooked on, you lift the clock, you push him out of the cogs, and they escape, or you escape yourself. See SRF on the axe once again, just jungling it up while his base is in trouble because he's probably just like, what do we do? What is the play here? And
he wants Blade Mail so badly. He's just 70 gold away from it. 50 gold, NA math.
yeah, I think a Blade Mail call onto the Morphling is their last hope perhaps right now.
Even that, honestly, you take a look at this Morphling and, I mean, he's in the... But he's got a lot of armor.
Yeah, he's going to have a decent amount of health now with the Scotty. Even when he's full agi, I feel like he's still, 1,500 health roughly on full agi.
Top tower is under attack.
And Axe bring him down.
Still, he's going to TP back right now. That is maybe going to be the last hurrah as they look for a Blade Mail opening.
Axe is already down, but he is smoked up, so he should be able to get the jump on.
Radiant's top barracks has fallen.
They've already backed off. They're not going to get a chance to do it.
Oh, they pop in the drums. You can sense it. They
Oh,
just
they
want
were-
that call so badly.
They were ready for that. They were just like, these guys have been missing for a bit too long. Just back off. We don't care about a range Rex right now. We've got the key objective, the melee Rex. We can wait for Roshan. We can take their other shrine. Could be respawning in the next 3 to 4 minutes.
28 minutes in, and Team Serenity, their very upsetting first game for them, are looking amazing in this game number 2.
Yeah.
The back of this Morphling.
This game's getting pretty out of hand. Morphling, now it's got a Butterfly queued up. The Ancient stacks.
Oh,
Here we
they're
go.
looking for it immediately.
There's the Blade Mail.
Fatal Bonds. The turn on. No, he
There's the
gets him.
combo.
He dropped him down. The second chop. They
Right.
kill him off.
As things were looking a bit too grim for the Radiant side, they show some signs of life. They get 3 kills out of it. Morphling has no buyback. What
Looking for
can
more.
they do?
They found a 4. PYW, he's gone as well here if he's not careful.
Maybe they have a fit. ZYD's getting chased, but SRF doesn't get him with the blink.
I thought that he had time to get off. I mean, because the rock came in, right? Like, what was stopping him? Just too long
From
of duration?
Morphling, just the call with the Blade Mail. It's
Okay.
a 3-second plus duration, and just got blown up during it. Kills himself on the Blade Mail, and perhaps a small little lesson that he may have to sit on slightly higher strength against this Axe Blade Mail. That is the one way IG can win this game. Killing this Morphling using Blade Mail. And I think that's where Team Serenity, you know, just tell your Morph, like, dude, it's okay if you do a little bit less damage. Just, you know, sit on like 20 or 30 strength instead of 0.
And it is crazy how quickly they're back again with these
Yeah.
bloodstones talking about it. So, ready to possibly fight again if they want to.
Morph has kind of done just that. He's now sitting on 20 string
Radiant's bottom tower
to make
is
sure he
under
has that
attack.
little bit of a buffer, because he was close to surviving there. It was just ever so slightly enough damage.
He goes back down to
Back
0.
there. Yeah, we'll see. I think it's because he sees the axe, that's why there's an observer on top of axe, but
Got it.
anytime he feels like the axe could be jumping him, he should be putting some points into string. It's definitely a mistake not to at this point.
You have another smoke here? Huh? Movement over from the Undying might signal to them that a smoke is coming. In fact, they're going to be
Oh, Roche's respawn very fast.
scary. Here as well. Do they try and bait out one of these Morphling illusions? They could go for it.
Bottom lane, meanwhile, Xinq's an aggressive duking it out. Oh, but the team fight will pick out. They take out Undying.
Yeah, there's a jump forward as well. They're already on success as the waveform jumps forward. That's TA done. No buyback, 80 seconds, and Roche is the call. They did lose the Lesh.
Yeah, Ledge down bottom, they TP rotate a lot of heroes, but both Undying and TA go down. And Roshan at this point is totally fine. I think Xinq more or less fulfilling his duty there. He's the guy who's pushing the lanes. He's got boots of travel, so theoretically, if they don't address him, he can just, you know, push high ground. If they do, he wants to just boots of travel to the rest of his team. Or worst case scenario, he gets picked off, but his team are able to get some kills and take Roshan, which is what ends up happening.
And she's going to be the look for them now, and if they want to, you can just run down a lane, it feels like almost. So 40 seconds with TA on the sidelines, and of course, by the time they get there, you'll have the boots of travel Leshrac able to join them as well.
Set their sights on this axe down bottom. He just blink called a creep wave. Looks like they may grab some bounty runes first, which lingered well into the 31-minute mark.
So still, in spite of that little hiccup there for Team Serenity, IG still heavily under fire at this point in the game, and they're going to need something magical to make this work.
Yeah, the big problem is their play to win fights was this blink call onto Morphling, and now you can do it, but he's got an Aegis. So how do you kill him a second time?
Radiant's bottom
Perhaps
shrine
you just
has
disengage and
fallen.
wait for the cooldown. The Blade Mail has a 20-second cooldown. You could just reset, wait for it to come back up, give up like a tier 3 tower, and then go back in. You need some kind of attack here, and well, you don't need one yet because it does feel like Serenity are happy to just back off, finish their items first. They do have a butterfly coming for Morphling, just 1,000 gold away.
Just like that, they do find themselves the axe. He has not popped his blade mail, and now the right click's coming in. He's done.
They may be able to push off that. I think you tell Morphling, dude, stop farming. Yeah, he just stopped killing an ancient camp. He was trying to finish this butterfly. He was very close to it. But with a kill like that, you actually just go high ground, or at least force a buyback. He does have
The sidelines here, and yeah, they're going to try and push this out here for a moment. Axe, let's have that buyback, along with the Venomancer.
Yep.
They're fighting on top of a trap. They need to be a little bit careful if things start to go south. They might not be able to get out easily.
These traps also just clear creep waves, which is pretty annoying. They kind of respect. Like, vesseled up. We'll just mint it out. They may actually stack off here. Axe is about to respawn, and things didn't quite go how they would have liked with that push.
It's hard to push high ground, and they had the Tombstone down also.
Stone plus Veno, pesky stuff. But AC, so getting some additional sieging items.
Should just continue to be farm central for Serenity, while IG... I mean, what's the game plan at this point, right? Like, things have not gone the way they wanted from the very get-go.
So Morphling's like kind of close to peaking, which is where you're just telling your team, like, let's just hold on and see what happens. You don't expect to come out on top of this game. You know you're held up in your base. The Dota Plus win probability says 99%. I don't think it's that bad. I think they have a bit more than a 1% chance. It's definitely no higher than 5. It's probably somewhere like 3 to 4. But they have to just turtle it up. Their lineup doesn't scale as well, is the other big problem. Morphling, Lina both probably go better late game than TA Veno does. Which is where this game is particularly hard, but they definitely can just turtle and see what happens.
Play for misplays, play for the DD runes as well, I guess.
Heroes like Axe with Blade Mail have that just instant kill potential that you always never know what's going to happen. But it's going to be tricky because they can't really leave their base, and if Team Serenity want to play it safe, they can just kind of slow roll as we're seeing. Go through the motions, get all their next items. Minute and 20 left on Aegis. Maybe time for them to go for that high ground push now. See if they're ready for it. Leshrac just finishing off Shiver's Guard, and I believe that should be all the items that they're waiting on. I want to say this. See here, they're going to smoke up.
All right. Eventually, see if they can find a pick off here. They're going to walk forward into the base, actually, just prepping for this, and they found aggressive. Not expecting to get hooked from behind, but he is instantly going to evaporate, and Serenity in the base, looking for more now. They do have a Axe Call if they want to use it, but make sure it's that perfect one. They also stole the waveform. Axe looking for his opening here now.
Just happy to get going on right now. 30 seconds left on Aegis. Here's your IG, you just try and time it so that you go with a Aegis expiring.
Or call it the other side of it. They're blowing up the Lina. She's already dead. Back up in 20 seconds. Can they get back into here in time? There's the stun on to 2. Xin doing a lot of damage as SRF is starting to fall down low and will eventually die. 3 dead on the side of IG. The only one left is maybe one more call from the Axe, but he is getting it broken by a zombie. Pretty emblematic of how rough this game is right now.
They just steamrolled through them this game. They had such a good early game. Never look back and force a Game 3 decider.
Oh, it was just about to expire right there as well, but obviously the game done. Just a little bit of salt in the wounds right there, but my goodness.